Ever feel like a traveler lost in the woods, walking through shadows, not knowing which way to turn? Ever ask yourself if the Great Spirit's whispering in your ear and how you can hear that voice over the noise of the world? If your heart answers yes, then this talk is for you. Get ready, because there are ways the body shows us when the Spirit is reaching out. I'm not talking about just dream walks or feelings you can't grab hold of, but signs you can see right there on your own self. This time together, we'll look at 5 ways your body shows when the Great Spirit is trying to connect. See how little changes in what surrounds you, how you feel inside, sleepless nights, or even peace, or the lack of it, can be messages straight from the sky world. You'll learn how to understand these signs in your everyday walk and how they can light up your decisions, bringing purpose to your spiritual path. If your heart longs to be closer to the Spirit, if confusion is blocking your view of the path, or if you just want to see the Creator's hand in all of life, this is for you. We'll uncover a new language of the heavens and give you the tools to walk in harmony with the Spirit's will. Ready to start that journey? Then breathe deep, open your heart, and let's begin. Imagine for a bit you're in a thick forest where every tree looks like the next, and there ain't no map to guide your steps. Each move takes you deeper into the unknown, and you feel that lost feeling in your gut. That's how it is for many who walk away from the teachings of our ancestors. It's easy to lose yourself in the hard times of this life and forget the path the Spirit has set for you. But know this, the Great Spirit don't leave us out there alone. It lays down signs along the way, like little lights in the dark, waiting to guide us back to the love of the Creator. Our ancestors say, the teachings of the wise are like a lamp to light your way. That ain't just words, it's a living truth that lights our path when everything looks dark around us. Our body, such a wondrous creation, can also feel the Spirit's voice. You ever notice how sometimes your heart races for no reason? Or how a deep peace takes hold of you even when things are wild around you? These feelings can be more than just the body reacting. They can be whispers from the Spirit, a response to the Creator's presence. Think about that inner voice that says, wait, think about this. Could that be the Great Spirit trying to talk to you? Maybe it was while listening to the stories of our elders, when they remind us that life is more than just the food we eat. It's about the wisdom that comes from the Spirit. These moments are an invitation to a deeper connection. But listen close. Understanding these signs takes more than just a quick ear. You need to pay attention, have an open heart, and a quiet mind. Try listening to a soft whisper in the middle of a loud crowd. It's close to impossible, right? That's how it is trying to hear the Spirit when the world is noisy. We need to step away from that noise and turn to the Creator in silence. Take time to think about the ancient ways, like our ancestors did, who said, the teachings of the wise will show you the path that you must walk. How about, instead of chasing after the things of this world, you spend the first moments of the day listening to the ancient ways, seeking understanding? And don't worry if it's hard at first. Even those who came before us were told, the Spirit is ready, but the body is weak. So what's the first step you'll take today to tune your soul to the voice of the Spirit? When we talk about signs from the body, we ain't talking about magic or things you can't reach. It's more like simple ways the Great Spirit speaks to us, intimate and personal. Remember the story of the weeds among the corn? Like those weeds, the Spirit's signs can go unnoticed if we ain't paying attention. It's that feeling in your heart that something isn't right, or that chill down your back when an idea comes to you out of nowhere. They are small things, but they carry big meaning. Like you ever been about to make a big choice, take a new path, or leave the old one behind, and suddenly you feel restless in your body. That ain't just a random thing. That could be the Spirit trying to warn you, like it did for so many of our ancestors. Remember what the wise ones said, life is more than just food. It is the wisdom that comes from the Great Spirit. That means our choices should follow the Spirit's will, not just what we see around us. So next time your body reacts in a way you can't explain, stop and think, is the Spirit trying to tell me something? Maybe it's time to look at the teachings, ask for guidance, and let the Spirit light up your path. And you know what else? These spirit signs aren't just for big moments or dramatic times. Often they show up so softly and quietly that we can miss them, like petals in the wind. Think about the peace that fills you when you pray, even when your heart feels stormy, or that sudden tiredness that makes you stop, breathe, and think about what matters. The Great Spirit uses these simple, deep feelings to remind us that it is there, looking after every part of our journey. Like the old ones say, the Great Spirit promises to guide those who seek with a true heart. And if you are still wondering how to see these signs, don't worry. We're just starting to uncover this mystery. Finding a deeper connection to the Great Spirit ain't something that happens in a blink. It's a long walk, like growing a seed. You plant it, water it, keep it from the harsh sun, and over time it grows into a strong, healthy tree. But here's a truth. The Spirit is talking to you already, maybe in ways you haven't seen yet. Remember the elders said we must be watchful and pray? That means we need to be aware of the signs the Spirit puts out around us and inside us. Imagine yourself in a canoe in the middle of a rough lake. The wind's howling, the waves are crashing, and it feels like there's no way out. That's how some felt before the Spirit calmed the storm. They were so busy trying to control their boat, they almost didn't see the Spirit with them. The same way, when we are pulled by the demands of this life, we can miss the signs the Spirit is using to guide us. You ever notice how peace can wash over your heart in the middle of chaos, or how a certain teaching can jump out at you when you're confused? Those are clear signs that the Spirit is reaching out. Like the old ones say, the teachings are a lamp to your steps. But here's the key. You gotta be ready to hear. You can't hear the Spirit if your mind is noisy and distracted. Try to spend a bit of time each day quiet in your world. It could be during a walk, listening to soft songs, or doing simple things like washing dishes. The point is to make space for the Spirit to speak. And if you're still thinking, how will I know it's the Spirit? Remember that the Spirit will always confirm its will through the teachings. Look at the wisdom of the elders. The Spirit promises to guide you on the right path. Are you ready to hear that guidance? The truth is, many of us walk through life trying to figure things out, like we are trying to make a puzzle with no picture. Seems hard, right? But what if someone gave you that picture, and even better, told you how to put each piece in place? That's what the Great Spirit does when it shows us the way through signs from our bodies. The wise ones said we need more than just the basics of life to grow. We need the wisdom of the Spirit to guide our steps. These body signs are like little clues the Great Spirit leaves along the way. Maybe you felt it before. That chill down your spine when you hear something powerful, or that calmness when everything else seems to be falling apart. Those are moments when the Great Spirit is whispering right into your heart, saying, I am here, and I'll help you find the right path. The Great Spirit promises to teach you the way. It doesn't leave us on our own. It gives us the tools to walk through life's decisions. So, next time you feel something unusual in your body, stop and ask, is the Spirit showing me something important? And you know what? These tools ain't hard to use. They are there for anyone ready to seek them. Start by giving thanks each day. When you thank the Spirit for simple things, like the morning meal or a friend's embrace, you make space to see the signs more clearly. Another way is to keep a journal of your spirit. Write down your thoughts, feelings, and the things you notice during your day. Over time, you'll see the patterns, and those patterns can be the key to seeing the Spirit's will. Are you ready to start that journey of discovery? Transformation is a powerful word, right? It carries the promise of something new, something better. But here's a truth you might not have seen yet. Every big change starts with a small step. And when it comes to hearing the Great Spirit through body signs, that step can be as simple as paying attention to what your body is telling you. Remember that story about the weeds among the corn? Like those weeds growing without us seeing them, the Spirit's signs can be right there, waiting for us to notice. So, what's the first step you'll take today? Imagine you're in a dark room, and someone lights a candle. Even if the light is small, it's enough to push back the shadows around you. The same way, the body signs the Spirit uses to guide us might seem small at first, but they can light up our path. Like, ever feel a peace come over you when you pray, even when things are hard? Or maybe you felt sudden tiredness that made you stop and think about your choices. Those are clear signs that the Spirit is working in your life. Like it promised, the teachings are a lamp to your feet. What you need to do is learn how to see those lights and follow them. But here's the secret. Transformation needs action. It's not enough just to hear, you have to do. Think of it like learning to play a drum. At first you might hit some wrong notes, but with practice, you start making good sounds. The same way, when you practice listening to the Spirit, you start seeing the deeper meanings. Try to spend a bit of time thinking about the teachings, where the Spirit promises to guide those who seek its presence. Are you ready to take that step towards change? That feeling of being lost, we all feel it at some point. It's like the ground under our feet disappears, leaving us drifting in a sea of doubt, taking slow steps in the darkness. But here's a truth that settles the heart. The Great Spirit never abandons its children. Even when the light feels far away and the path is dark, it is there, whispering through body signs that we miss most times. Remember what the elders said, we must watch and pray. That watchfulness can be what's missing for you to start seeing the signs the Spirit is putting in your life. Now think, how many times have you felt something unusual in your body? Maybe a tightness in your heart, a little dizziness or a calmness you can't explain, and you just ignored it? Those feelings can be more than just the body reacting. They can be messages from the Spirit, little whispers trying to guide you. Imagine you're about to make a big choice, like taking a new job or falling into a relationship. Suddenly you feel restless, like something inside you says, wait, think about it. That can be the Spirit warning you, like it did for so many in our stories. Remember that the Spirit promises to guide you on the right path. It's ready to show you the way, but you need to be aware of the signs. And you know what? Seeing these signs ain't a gift for a few. Anyone can learn to hear the Spirit, as long as you are ready to quiet the noise around you. Try making moments of quiet in your life. It could be during a walk, while you're sipping tea in the morning, or even before sleep, when the world is quiet. The point is to make room for the Spirit to speak, and if you're still wondering how to see these signs, remember that the Spirit always confirms its will through the teachings. Look at the wisdom of the elders, how they promise to be a light to your steps. Are you ready to see that light? That question echoes in many hearts. Is the Great Spirit really talking to me? The good news is, yes, it is, and more often than we think. The problem is that we are so caught up in the noise of the world that we forget to listen to the teachings. The wise ones said that we don't live just on food, but on all the wisdom that comes from the Spirit. That means we need to learn to hear the Spirit's voice, even in the chaos of daily life. And believe it, it speaks in surprising ways. One way it speaks is through the body signs we feel. Ever thought about that? Like, imagine you're about to make a big choice, take on a new job, or maybe leave something behind. Suddenly, you feel something strange in your chest, like something inside you is saying, stop, think. That ain't just a feeling. It could be the Spirit warning you. Like the old one said, where the Spirit promises to guide those who seek its presence, these signs are little guidances put on our path. But here's a key thing. To hear that voice, you need to be aware. It's like listening to a whisper in a crowded room. You need to quiet the noise around you. And you know what else? Hearing the Spirit's voice ain't just for big moments. Sometimes it comes soft, like that peace we feel when we pray, even in a storm, or that sudden tiredness that makes us stop and think about our choices. Those are clear signs that the Spirit is working in your life like it promised. The teachings are a lamp for my feet. So, what will be the next step you take to learn to hear this voice? If you ever caught yourself thinking, is the Great Spirit talking to me? Now's the time to find out the truth that can change your life. The Spirit doesn't just speak in thunder and lightning. Often, it uses the softest signs, like that feeling in your body or an idea that pops into your mind from nowhere. Remember the story about the weeds growing among the corn? Just like those weeds growing without us seeing them, the Spirit's signs can be all around us, just waiting for us to notice. And if you're reading this now, maybe it's because the Spirit is about to show you something important. Now imagine you're in a dark maze trying to find your way out. Then, a small light appears at the end of the path. Even if it's weak, it's enough to guide you. The same way, the body signs the Spirit uses are like that light. Small, but powerful enough to change our direction. Ever felt a calmness you can't explain in the middle of a wild time? Or maybe you felt a sudden tiredness that made you stop and think about your choices. Those are clear signs that the Spirit is working in your life, like it promised. I will teach you the way you should go. What you need to do is learn to see those messages and follow them. But here's the main point. Hearing the Spirit's voice takes practice and a willing heart. It's not enough just to want it. You need to do it. Try to spend a bit of time each day thinking about the Spirit's teachings. It could be during a walk, while you're sipping your morning tea, or even before you sleep. The point is to make space for the Spirit to speak. And if you're still wondering how to see these signs, remember the Spirit will always confirm its will through the teachings. Look at the ancient wisdom. The Spirit promises to be a light for your path. Are you ready to take that step toward clarity and purpose? Have you ever thought about the wonder of your own body, this sacred place, as a way the Spirit speaks? Seems like a mystery from the sky world, right? But the truth shines in its simplicity. The Spirit shows itself through the most intimate signs, those that echo inside us. Remember the elders that spoke of our bodies being weak, but our spirits being strong, and how they teach us we can hear the Spirit in our vulnerability. These body signs are like spirit lights, always reminding us that it's there, ready to guide our steps on life's journey. Imagine for a bit you're standing at a fork in the road, about to take a new path, whether it's a new job or a relationship that's about to blossom. Suddenly, you feel something unusual in your heart, like a whisper from your soul saying, wait, there's more to see. That ain't a coincidence or a product of your mind, but the voice of the Spirit that with love and care is warning you. Like the teachings say, where it's promised that the Spirit will guide those who seek it, these signs are like spirit compasses, showing us the right direction. And the beautiful thing is that these spirit messages can be felt in many different ways. A soft restlessness, a calm peace that goes beyond our understanding, or even a sudden tiredness that makes us think. They are spirit whispers, quiet and powerful, that echo in our being with the promise, I am here, always present. But here's the secret to seeing it all. Seeing these signs takes a full awareness, a quiet heart. We can't hear the Spirit's voice while our mind is busy with distractions. It's like trying to hear a whisper in a loud storm. We need to quiet the noise around us so that the Spirit's voice can be heard clearly. Let yourself make moments of silence in your life. A walk at sunrise, a tea enjoyed in silence, or moments of thinking before sleep. The point is to make a sacred space where the Spirit can show itself. And if you're still unsure how to know these signs, remember the promise from the Spirit that always confirms its will through the teachings. Look at the wisdom and let the light shine on every step of your journey. Is your heart ready to uncover these spirit mysteries? What if I told you that your own body, this sacred temple, can be a doorway to the Spirit's voice? Not like in a story, but in a real way you can feel. The Great Spirit, in its endless wisdom, chooses the simplest paths to touch our souls, even through the feelings that are a part of our days. Remember the teaching that tells us that life is more than just the food we eat, that we are nourished by the Spirit's wisdom. And that wisdom sometimes reaches us as a soft chill on our spine, or like the calm of an unexpected breeze. Now, picture this. You're at a crossroads, ready to make a choice that can shape your journey. Suddenly, you feel something unusual in your body, a gentle tightness in your chest, a passing dizziness. Don't push it away like it's just stress or tiredness. It could be the loving touch of the Spirit, gently warning you with care. Like the teachings where it is promised that the Spirit will guide those who seek it, these signs are like messages from the sky world, put on our path to guide us. And the most beautiful thing is that they can bloom in the simplest moments, during a quiet prayer, or while you're tending to your daily tasks. They are spirit whispers, quiet and powerful, that remind us of the constant presence of the Spirit. But here's the key: seeing these signs takes careful listening, a soul that's ready. It's not enough just to want to hear, you need to nurture that awareness. Think of it like learning a song. At first, we might stumble on some notes, but with practice, harmony appears. The same way, when we get better at listening to the Spirit's voice, we start seeing patterns and deeper meanings. Let yourself spend a few moments each day thinking on the wisdom of our ancestors, how it is the lamp for our feet. Are you ready to uncover these signs and change the path of your life? Now, with this knowledge about the 5 body signs that show the Spirit speaking, it's time to use that wisdom in your journey. Remember, the Spirit's voice doesn't just show up in thunder or dramatic visions, but often in the simplest ways, like a sudden feeling or a sense that comes from the quiet inside. As the elders said, we must watch and pray so that we do not fall to temptation. It is important to be aware, watchful, and ready to welcome the Spirit in every part of our lives. But stop for a moment and reflect. Have you given your life to the way of the Spirit? If the answer still feels unsure, maybe this is the sacred time to give yourself to that call. See the change that comes when we let the Spirit guide every one of our steps. And if your soul is already walking the path of the Spirit, why not use these signs as spirit lights to be in harmony with the purpose from the sky world? Think about this. How many big choices could have gone a different way if we had seen these spirit whispers? So I invite you to start this journey. Start today by opening your heart to the signs the Spirit puts in your life. Look at the promise that the Spirit will guide those who seek its presence. And so we can keep walking this path of discovery together. Join our circle so the flame of this wisdom doesn't fade in your heart. This journey of discovery has just begun. What will you do with this new light that now shines in your soul? Great Spirit, Creator of all, with hearts full, we raise our thanks for this time of understanding. We see that each word shared here is like a sacred seed, planted in the rich earth of our hearts. Today, we give this seed to your powerful hands so that it can find good ground and grow strong, more than anyone can imagine, like the promise in our stories. We ask you, Great Spirit, to prepare the hearts of all who have listened or read these words. Melt away the hardness, remove the rocks of doubt, and clear away the thorns of distraction. Let this seed of truth find soft earth, watered by your Spirit, so that it may bloom, grow strong, and give life to all. May every heart be like the good earth that welcomes the seed with joy, thinks about it in quiet, and turns it into action. May no one lose their way, but may all feel the power of our ancestors' teachings. May these body signs, these little lights you give us, be seen and understood with clarity so that every choice, every step is in harmony with your perfect will. Creator, you are the light that lights our path and the one who makes our lives whole. Help us to watch and to pray so that we don't fall into the traps of the darkness. Strengthen us, Great Spirit, so that we may hear your voice over the noise of the world and walk with confidence on the path you've set for us. Spirit of life, breathe on this seed today. May it grow in transformed lives, families made whole, purposes found again, and dreams renewed. May every person who receives these words be changed in a way that they can't stay silent, but will share the gifts they have found with others, spreading your Spirit on this earth. In the name of the Great Spirit of life, we give this prayer with unwavering faith, deep gratitude, and bright hope. Amen.